Hello, artists. Welcome to week 4. Y'all projects were amazing. If you have not done the paperwork, you haven't submitted your materials and the whole list that's in week 3, do it. That's how you get all your points, because we all have to have accountability. Even though I saw you do it, you saw you do it, other people saw you do it. But the school is going to want its paperwork, and that is very much about being a commercial artist is you got to show that paperwork. You got to have your receipts. And so the paperwork are receipts in class. Now, the monster. So the monster is an assessment test. That's why I just want to see how well you sew. So go ahead and finish those little babies out. I know we started doing shank buttons, regular buttons, but all of the information on how to complete the monster is in a video on under week 1. As well as if you have lost your monster, if you need another pattern, or if you need instructions, all of that is in week 1. So let's jump on over to, and the skill drill. If you missed this week's skill drill, hi, editing me here. I completely forgot to complete that thought, which was, if you missed the skill drill this week, I want you to open the document, the Google Slides, watch all the videos, read all the stuff, and take some notes. That was a requirement for those who were in class. So that is a requirement for those who missed class. I sort of started talking about safety and never quite got back to the point, which is I want you to upload notes so that way you can get your points for this week's skill drill. Some other skill drills will actually require you to do things like steaming, ironing, laundry, playing games, playing color board games. So make sure that you come to class when we have those skill drills, because they can be a lot harder to make up than you think. All right, so let's get back to the video. Thank you. Love you, artists. See you in a bit. You missed a banger. We talked about death, dying, fungus, disease, pink eye. Yes, you can get pink eye from someone farting on your pillow. Yes, you can get pink eye from your animal, like moving their body parts across your furniture if you put your eye to it. So we had a great talk about how not to die in the costume shop. And after such talk, I am going to email the department chair and just ask about more resources and to see like, what's up? How come like these elective classes are talking about, theater safety, and the main classes are not talking about theater safety? So as somebody who believes in safety, I feel like it's kind of my duty, I suppose, to maybe just give some people a reminder. Like I can imagine being a full-time tenured faculty member is quite overwhelming. I know being an adjunct doing this and all my other jobs is also overwhelming, and things fall through the crack. So anyways, let's jump to week 4, how to style. So we are going to be watching the film Tank Girl. Here, let's roll a little clip, shall we?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Drop something?
Ah, shit.
I think I have a theory, and then I did find some research on that other people have this theory that Mad Max, Thunder Road, Fury Road. Do you know what I'm saying? I think it's Fury Road. The newest one, the one that came out in like 2015, is a remake of Tank Girl. If you sort of like slim the plot down, I feel like Tank Girl is a little bit of Doom meets Mad Max Fury Road. I'm going to go with Fury Road. I'm pretty sure it's Fury Road. Kind of like combined, but it also comes out of a comic book. And I think that adds like a lot of texture, layers, and just like this interesting zaniness that neither of those films really have. I think that this really set the tone for like diesel punk, steampunk, and just what is the other lowbrow art that was really, really popular. Like lowbrow art, if you're not familiar with it, think anything Orlando, Nickelodeon 90s. So all of the 90s and like MTV, VH1, any cartoon that was like gross, vomit, pimples, like just kind of like Beavis and Butthead, Ren and Stimpy, definitely. The Simpsons is part of lowbrow art, but also Real Monsters is lowbrow art. And I would even say that early SpongeBob is lowbrow art because those animators at Nickelodeon were still, they were the same animators that did the art from like 10 years before. And there's a little bit of that like lowbrow art kind of like within it. Anyway, so I would say the Tank Girl is a part of that movement. It's steampunk, it's lowbrow, it's 90s, it's like Gen X culture. And then, again, that's just like more and more things to think about. So I put these like step 1, step 2, step 3. I don't know if to me, it seems kind of hokey, but at the same time, I'm hoping that it is very clear. Let me know if you're like, I don't like this, or yeah, that was actually quite helpful. So step 1, watch the movie. What color palettes are you seeing? What color design theory concepts are you finding? I've linked a book in here. It is a beautiful, beautiful book. Just please open it and go through it. So that way you can understand what is local color versus symbolic color. What is the color wheel, color value, saturation, temperature, analogous colors, complementary, color proportion, light temperature, all of those things. Now we do have a skill drill coming up. So you all together, we're going to learn these things together, but I want you to have a little bit of an idea going into this film because there's a lot of colors. There's a lot into it. Step 2, create a 7 plot point breakdown. So this is new. This is something that I thought that would be really interesting to add in this year. So if you've ever taken a writing class, or if you've ever studied Shakespeare, then like Shakespeare is on a 5-act plot point, right? If you had to read The Scarlet Letter in school, was it Nathaniel Hawthorne wrote it on like a 13? Was it 13? Yeah, 13 chapter. Like each chapter was planned out, and you kind of start at the end and you work your way back. But there's also like a slightly more modern version of it that I have found really helpful in my own like artistic endeavors of the 7 plot point story. So what is it? Hook, plot point 1, pinch point 1, midpoint, pinch point 2, plot point 2, and resolution. So I'll go through them very quickly, but there's information and a link to more information in the page. So the hook hooks you in, the inciting incident, right? The reader gets to know the protagonist and the environment they live in. Boom. Plot point 1, an odd or surprising event occurs that kickstarts the main story. Pinch point 1. Pinches are stories equivalent to paint points. The protagonist discovers their purpose in the middle of the journey. It's like, the aha, like, I have to go to Texas now. Midpoint. This step in the story structure occurs when the main character stops observing what's going on to stepping up and taking action. So this is like, I must slay the dragon, right? Pinch point 2. By this point in the story structure, the main character has hit rock bottom and has almost lost hope. Plot point 2, the second plot point, is where the main character finds that they need what they need that moves them towards completing their goal or solution. And then resolution. All significant plot points come to an end by this point and are solved. So track this through the film. You know, you can watch it once if you just want to like watch it and just take it all in. You could watch it and then just try to see. It's not about getting it perfect because each person is going to have different perspectives. But I think that it will add something to our conversation to be like, well, what did you think was plot point 1? What did you think was midpoint? What did you think was the hook? You know, so be prepared to discuss this. Step 3, create a character list. Now, again, as I say, you don't need every little character that pops up in this film, but anybody that really helps push the plot along, Who are they? What character, species, land are they from, and why? That's what I want. Just like, this is their name, this is what the character does. This is their name, this is what the character does. Just so, because again, we're gonna have to start plotting things later on, and so this is just a good way to get into that. Step 4, do some research on the film. Now, this film is going to have some really interesting things come up because, again, it's a part of a comic book and kind of like a huge cult following. So there should be lots of interesting things out there. Also, it has like sci-fi makeup. There's like ears and things that move. So like, who is the makeup artist and did they collaborate and what other stuff have they done? Step 5, create a mood board. Now, mood board is really about like the film itself and less about each character, because that's what your next week's project is going to be, of like, now pick characters and create mood boards based on that, then style based on those boards. So this board is about like, what colors are you seeing? What textures? Where are we? What lands? Like what's metal? There's water. There's this. There's that. Like, what are the things and the elements that make this film? What are the colors, the textures? Some interesting costumey things, lighting. It's more of like, it's almost like the jacket project. Like, I want to. How did you interpret this film through images? What were the images that were coming up, and how can you communicate best with images about what you have just experienced? Of course, ways to create your mood board and links. You are always welcome to go pay to watch this film if you feel uncomfortable using a free link. In-person class time, we are going to discuss the film. We have color. I used to call it history chat, but it's our skill drill now. Research showcase. So that's as we were talking about the film, we're talking about what your research is. A works cited page is actually not required for this one because we haven't talked to our research librarian yet on like exactly how to do it. So that will come later if you're wondering. No one's ever asked me about that, but I always think like we should probably have one, but I want to do it with a professional and we have plenty of time to do that type of research. Your talent measurements, so you all will be paired up. So each person will be somebody's talent as also a stylist. The role of the talent is to show up on time, wear underwear, and be clean, like at least recently showered and groomed. That's all we ask of our talent on a professional level. That's all I'm asking for you. It is not the talent's job to go into the storage and find themselves clothes. That's the job of the stylist. This class, week 4 and week 6 are both in-person classes, and there is a 10-point penalty. It's at the bottom of the page. There's a 10-point penalty if you are late, because think of this as like practice for your fittings. This is practice for styling. You have to be on time. You need to be prepared and ready to go with your talent, because they never give us a lot of time. Generally speaking, they'll give you about 30 minutes per person, even though you'll have like 8 looks to go through and you really need about 2 hours. So when you really think about that, like we're gonna have 3 outfits, each person gets all this time. You have plenty of time to be prepared. And we even have like a little bonus week of like extra pulling. I think that is everything that we need to talk about for this week. I will see you soon. I can't wait. And if you need any help, let me know. Y'all have my phone number, email, and whatnot. I don't have any gigs until this upcoming Saturday, so I will be working from home. So it's a great time if you need any help. Also, if you need any equipment, feel free to contact me. If you need a sewing machine or you need sewing supplies, let me know and I can check those out to you. If you do not return them by the end of the semester, they put a little like ding on your account and you will not be able to register for classes in the next semester. But if you return it, all good. Okay. All right, artists, I will see you soon. Have a lovely day. Bye.